Hello, hi, good day, gangsters. What the fuck is up, gangsters? Wait, maybe I shouldn't do that in the first 1 minute. How are we doing? Let me see. Everything looks good to me. Go live on here. More head studies in just a second. For now, though, dinner. Is dinner time? Is mukbang time? Because I'm home late. Today we're having quiche. Right. And then it'll just be more head studies today. Staying on the grind and counting them. I've been getting some more participation in the Draw This in Your Style. I've seen one more post already, and I've had several people write me that they are in the process. So that's pretty exciting. If we're lucky, we're gonna have 5 participants. That could be cool. Get the prize pool exhausted. Been trying to advertise it for a while now too, so happy to see that something's happening. No update on Oppenheimer. I can tell you that I have... Damn, that's a long ass movie. I have 30 minutes left. This is including the credits. I have about 25 minutes left of Oppenheimer. I'm like 5 minutes into the big plot twist, I think. The big reveal. The big reveal that they were actually building the atom bomb that was actually used. No, I'm kidding, it's a different thing. Why is Shrek so good at digital art? He's used to having many layers. Why are gymnasts so good at perspective? They have great form. A third one about a Fire Lord Osai and burnout. Yeah, man. Yeah. I went to a cafe for people learning Japanese today, like a student organized cafe event at a school where I don't study. Also, interesting thing to note is that I'm not learning Japanese either. But it was like a fun social event. But it was fun. It was like very open atmosphere. They didn't mind that I didn't study there or that I'm not learning Japanese. It's also just like a hangout, I think, for like Japanese exchange students in Denmark. Twas nice, twas nice. I think that's most of what's new. I've been reading newspapers. Cause I've been visiting my grandmother more. She lives like next door. And she always has the newspaper out. Which it's this double thing where I don't really like keeping up with the news. I don't really feel the need to keep up with like specific events in global matters that I can't possibly affect. Especially because it'll be like, oh, there was this attack on this place, or this guy died, or this bad thing happened in this country or in your country. But it's like can't do anything about it. Not gonna change my behavioral patterns based off of it. Might as well just not know, you know? Might as well just not participate in the culture of fear. But it's like, I go to visit my grandma and like, I don't know, she's just watching TV. It's not always much to talk about. Newspapers right there. I'm a bit bored, might as well just flip through it a bit, I don't know. Then it's just like, this attack happened in this war. These guys don't like these guys. Price of butter is up. I don't know. And fair enough, that's a newspaper, okay. Are you guys getting that real loud? The ambulance? You might be. We might close the window later. We just needed some ventilation. We're 16 minutes late. Still a third of the food left. Nobody can really complain. This is part of the stream. I learned a Japanese word today. It's yabai. Yabai. It's like a reaction word. Apparently, you can use it in like... It seems like it's a universal word, man. It seems like it's for anything. You can use it for like dropping something hot on your foot. You can go, yabai, yabai. Ah, yabai. Yabai. Or you can use it for something that's really nice. You can go, yabai, yabai ne, yabai. The hand is me. I don't the nice Japanese guy who taught me the word. He wasn't using the hand, but you know, I don't know. Maybe like your bro has got like a killer haircut. You go, yabai ne, yabai ne. So it's the good and the bad. It can be like a little bit of like an eek, like a... I don't know, like I lost my phone on vacation in Poland. Yabai, yabai ne, yabai. Is what I've been told, that it's like, dude, anything, you just go. There's a useful Japanese word for you guys. Before that one, Hayata, the nice Japanese guy who taught me this stuff, he went like, well, you gotta learn one Japanese word today, okay. Arigato. And then he went, you know, we know arigato, we know. But then he went, everything is arigato. Everything is arigato in Japanese. Like, that's what he said. That's how he phrased it. And I kind of buy it, right? Because it's like a very polite language. Whoops. We're almost through the food now. We're almost through the food. Then I gotta do like a quick 2-minute break to take some medicine. And then we'll get into these head studies. Okay. I'm thinking maybe we should start today with some artist studies. Some artist studies. Instead of just these photo studies here. Excuse me. Now that does require me to find some more study-worthy images from some good artists. Which is not the hardest task in the world. Anyway, I think we will get right on that after my quick break, cleaning my plate, and taking my medicine. Be right back. All right, back we are. Back we are. Let me open my reference doc. Can also see if we can just find some study-worthy images in the Instagrams of, say, Araceli. Or maybe, just maybe, oh, this one's really good. Do I not have that one in the document? Seems not. Just a second. 30 minutes late, but we're about to be ready to start drawing. Any minute now. Okay. Studies, I think we're just going to be doing some studies from Liamo. However that's supposed to be pronounced. Is just a go-to artist for me. And then let's see, maybe some art of Maki. Do we have some art of Maki faces nearby? Nope. Are they perchance in my files? I know they are. Yes. So Maki is very rhythmic in the way he draws faces. Almost to the point of sometimes neglecting structure a little bit. But I find it really appealing. So that is art that I want to look at and study. This one is from Photo Ref 1. Nope, it's not. This one is that. Sick. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this disclaimer here, and it's gonna say create from clipboard. Sick. Grab that, export it. Put it in here. Only feeling a little bit awkward since they checked into the stream the other day. But hey, I want to do these studies. If I were off stream, I would be doing these studies right now. So I'm going to be doing these studies right now. Where did I put the disclaimer? Up in the corner. Image. Call it cool. So what I really like about these drawings is just how, again, simple, subtle, yet dimensional they feel to me. So we're gonna try our best to recreate some of that. Butcher some drawings here. What I've always noticed about Liamo's art is that every mark is so intentional. Like there is no doubt in any individual mark in their drawings. No doubt whatsoever to be seen. Like every mark is so intentional and so precisely where it needs to be. And I don't know if that's because there's like a complex underdrawing underneath, but I kind of doubt it. Because more than anything, to me, these look like the drawings of someone who just knows what they're doing. And notice how that's completely wrong. Notice how this eye is supposed to be way higher and way smaller. Closer to the bridge of the nose as well. It's way closer. Though apparently I drew the chin too big. And another thing about this artist, Liamo, I've always noticed that their mouths are very expressive, but they are often reluctant to draw the outlines, the full outlines of the lips, right? That makes sense. You don't see the full outlines of the lips as like typically as contrasty enough to like warrant a line, warrant a full outline. It's just a trap that I often fall into. Cheekbone here. A little bit more expression on that face, otherwise roughly there. So what do I notice when copying a drawing like that? I notice how decisive each of the marks involved were. How certain I felt doing every mark. And how certain you need to be to do something like this in line immediately. Definitely need to know the mark that you're about to make. So I'm gonna say, let's carry that into the photo studies of today. Let's say I don't make a mark before I know exactly the mark that I want to make. And I think if we can keep that promise to ourselves, the drawing should just come out way better. Anyway, I say we at least try it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to rematch with the smiley lady. Because those didn't go so well this morning. Okay. Here we go. Try again. And we're looking for certainty as we make our marks. We can put in guidelines if I really feel like I need them, but I want to be certain about what I'm putting down. This brow shape is a little heavy for me. At least a little, like, intense. Alright, this is one of those times where maybe there's benefit in trying to trace a little bit and see what we can learn. Because there's something about this face that is elusive to me, that I just can't quite grasp. It's a squarish face, that much I had gathered. She's turned more to the side than what I've got put in, I think. A little bit more. Not that much more, but a little bit more. Yeah, just more of a square shape than I dared put in. Then you have this one eye distance. And I wonder, okay, so what's that about? I think her face is just a little bit asymmetrical. Like one eye is just a little bit closer, a little bit further in than the other. Nah, not significantly. Not enough to actually make a point out of it. Then what's going on here? I'm drawing wonky lines. That's what's going on. And her nose is a little bit wide, slash her eyes are a little bit close set. One of the two. Then there's these distances here that I completely screwed up as well. Some of that is perspective, but she does seem to have a shorter nose than muscle area. And quite a wide smile. Just about at the pupils, which is like the general maximum for how wide to make a smile before it like looks uncanny. I don't know, man. It all seems like a pretty normal, if a little bit square face. And I just can't draw it for some reason. God dang it. How do we break this down? This nose down in rhythms. There's one there, this one there. Smile as wide as the pupils and no more. Is it any better than the other attempt? Who knows, man? Who knows? It's better structured this time. Like it looks more symmetrical this time. And I mean, I'd say the expression is closer. Okay. And just keep this idea of working with a certainty in the shapes we do for the hair here. Hello. Drawing us.
Start with the follow.
Liven up the vibe. How you doing? Hello. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, the stream's not gonna explode or anything. We'll still just be drawing these these head studies. A bit tired, but fine. Nice. That's me too. That's me too. Your drawings are so good. Aw, thank you. That's so kind. Doing my best. Yeah, I think I could learn to be sharper in my stylization. But we're probably making progress. We're practicing anyway, you know? That's all I can ask myself to do. Put in the work, put in the hours. And then hopefully we see progress. What was that rap song where they said put in the work, put in the hours, and then it was like Dwayne Johnson had a verse? We take what's ours. That was crazy. What a fever dream of a song. How do I keep myself motivated to draw and learn so much? How do I keep myself motivated? You know it? That's funny. Yeah, I feel like it was pretty big. It's a lot of different things, and it's a lot of like... Well, I guess the first thing I do have to say is probably that it just works better to think in terms of discipline, structure, and habits than motivation. Yeah, I think we kind of got to start there. You're not gonna ever feel motivated forever, always, every day, but you can teach yourself habits. You can create structure for yourself that makes it very, very attractive for you to sit down and draw. This stream is one such example for me, right? I have an incentive to show up and to do some work because I have a schedule that I've committed to. Every weekday, except for Fridays is the new thing, but every weekday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. I show up. And having committed to that, having put it in writing, having put it out in the world, makes it a lot easier for me to do. That's not to say that, oh, the only way to stay motivated, disciplined with your art is to stream it. The point is instead that I can be having like a shitty day and I still show up. So it's about creating systems and habits rather than relying on a motivation. Yeah. And then in terms of like, because that's another thing is you want to... Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. It's like one of those answers that sucks to give a little bit because it's like no cheat code. Just getting on the horse, getting up on your bike and getting going, you know? Okay, so that was rematch for this one. Let's also do the rematch for the other one. Not to say that motivation isn't like a part of the puzzle. This would be number 11 of this round of face studies. Like, you gotta be motivated to set those goals and to put those structures in. But the nice thing about that is that can be like a one-time thing. That can be like you on a Thursday evening deciding, hey, I want to start waking up 30 minutes earlier and doing 30 minutes of drawing faces before I go to school or go to work. Like, you can have the motivation for that right now. And then you can like write it down on a little post-it note and put it up on your wall. And really go like, yes, this is what I want. This is my new routine. This is my new structure. You got to have the motivation to establish the structure. And then it's like the discipline to follow the structure, right? Then I also think a lot about... I read this book, Atomic Habits, a while ago, and it was actually quite influential in how I think about structuring my day and structuring my habits. And a big part of that book is make whatever the thing is that you really want to do, make it as easy as possible. So like have your drawing supplies always on your table, or like never pack away like your art tablet, stuff like that. Like make it easy to enter the state in which you want to be. Make it easy to start working as much as possible. A big part of that book is making it obvious. So give yourself like visual reminders. That's how I use it. I have visual reminders everywhere around me in my day-to-day that go, hey, art's a thing that I want to do. It's on my walls, it's on my post-it notes, it's on my desktop background. Oh, right, I want to do art. Yeah. Sometimes you feel motivated to draw again, but as soon as you have a pen and paper, you can't focus anymore. Okay. You can't focus anymore. So I also sometimes struggle with focus. And you know, if you're at the desk with the pen and the paper, you're so close. You're so close. You just kind of got to get going. What could be obstacles? It might be stuff like prepping your reference, so you know that when you sit down and you have the motivation to draw, you can easily get going. If you're struggling with focus, depending on what kind of a person you are, I like having a little bit of stimulus in my ears, a little bit of a podcast or some music or a stream. And the more stimulating it is, the worse the work that I'm gonna do will be. But the easier it is to sit down and just draw something, anything. So there's a little bit of like a give and take there. I don't know, do you have any, do you know why you stop being able to focus as soon as you sit there with the pen and the paper? What do you think, what happens in your head?
Because this is a bit of like a person-to-person thing too. She's very enthusiastic in this one. Very wide eyes, open eyes. And just that very appealing, crooked smile. You want to draw again, and then start. You get to do some sketching, and then your brain just goes blank. It just goes blank. Do you have like a clear intention? Do you know what you're going to draw? Or is that what you're blanking on? Is like you're going, oh, I don't know what to draw. I don't know what to draw. You have an idea and a reference. Okay. And then you say your brain goes blank. I'm trying to figure out what that means. Because the situation you're describing seems to be a situation where you kind of know exactly what to do. I'm a little bit like, what is there to blank on in that situation? I always like an asymmetrical smile. It's nice to introduce some element of asymmetry in your faces. You just gotta make sure that the rest of it is like rock solid. If the rest of this face is rock solid, okay, we can afford to have the mouth be asymmetrical. Sometimes you feel motivated to draw again. As soon as you have a pen and paper, you can't focus anymore. Looks more lifelike. Yeah, it's also like, well, generally, asymmetry is more dynamic. Generally, dynamic is more appealing. Generally. So introducing some asymmetry while still showing that you have the skill to draw a symmetrical face is often very appealing. And still giving like the viewer enough cues that they can understand, oh, the rest of this face is actually symmetrical. It's just the mouth that has that element of asymmetry. So, okay. Let's attack it from a different angle. You sit down to draw. Sit down to do some sketching. And your brain goes blank. What do you do now? What happens then? You try to continue to draw. Great. What's the problem I'm not seeing? You sit down to draw, your brain goes blank. You continue to draw. So far, the narrative we're building, everything's fine. Everything's good. But it feels like your hands are not doing what you want. Okay. So you feel like you're underperforming? Now, I mean, kind of. Okay. So that, I mean, immediately to me, that sounds like the kind of stuff that you can just kind of power through if you just keep drawing. I don't know you. I don't know how it feels in your body. More like you're failing the absolute basics that you know how to do. Okay. I'm like, what's the hidden information here that I don't have? Is this like very late at the end of like an 8-hour work shift or something? Is this like you being super duper duper tired? Don't mean to get too personal, but I'm like, are you getting enough sleep? You're always tired. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking enough water? These are relevant questions here. I think you can only really draw well if you also, you know, try to take care of your sleep schedule, of your health. And what's going on here that I'm missing? Some nuances in the face shape. Yeah. Of course, I shouldn't really, don't really feel like I should need that. When I start to feel like even the most basic things that I should be able to do on any other day are like completely failing, it's not a foreign experience to me. When that happens to me though, that's typically a sign that I've been up for way too long, that I didn't sleep enough last night, and that I should just like call it an early day, get some sleep, get back on it tomorrow. That's when that happens to me. When I have that feeling, that's what that's a sign of to me. I'm very much of like a try to move at a sustainable pace kind of guy. So when my body, when my attention starts to say no, I take it at its word. I go, okay, well shit. Can't do any more of that today. But if it happens like the moment you sit down to draw, every time you sit down to draw, it feels like, yeah, I don't know. It might seem that like maybe it's not the same thing going on. Could be that you can't really change that. And then it sounds like we're have a really long day most of the time. Yeah. That's tough, man. That's tough. But then, as far as I see it, in terms of options, you're down to just like the harsh reality of, well, either you power through and you keep going even though it feels like shit, or you don't draw. Right? If you can't improve your sleep, if you can't make sure you're more well rested, if you can't drink more water, these are all things I'd recommend doing first. Yeah, if you can't improve your general health or sleep schedule, and you feel like you're tired every time you sit down to draw, and you just have long days, yeah, man, sorry to hear that. I think your options are either power through or just don't draw. Or it could be, I mean, alternatively, it could be like, yeah, actually scratch that for just a hot second. Could be like, if you have time in the day, but don't have the energy, this is something I do sometimes. Wake up before the thing that makes you tired and draw first thing in the day. When you have the energy, when you're not tired. First thing in the day, sit down to draw, have the energy for it, have your cup of coffee ready, and then just accept instead that you might be a little bit extra tired in the end of your work shift or your school day. I don't know what you do. So front load the drawing. You wake up tired already. You okay. Talk to a sleep doctor? I don't know, man. So, okay, something's not working the way I want it to. Let's have a look-see. They say it's normal. Huh? I mean, if you're literally so tired at any point in the day that you can't sit down and do like a simple task like drawing, I don't know, man. That's between you and your doctor. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't know the specifics. I hope you figure it out. I hope you find something that works for you. Okay, but I can see it does sound like the deck is stacked against you. Talk to me. What's wrong? Let's look at you. Let's have a look-see. What's going on here? Eyes are a little higher in the face. I see that. Cheap viewers. Maybe someday. Maybe someday join us. You can get the hell out of Dodge. Sick. Now, does that feel better than what we had? It does. I'm still not quite there, but an improvement's an improvement. I'll certainly take it. Eyes need to be closer still. Anyway, that's enough noodling. I feel like I want to move on. Drawing number 12. Let's see, where else do we have space? Any space behind you? Nope. I know there's space, however, behind this stack of images here. You can just get to the bottom of it. So what do you like to drawing this? You a character artist like me? Or an environment artist like Satan? I don't know. Like someone else. Nice face. Thank you, thank you. Been working on it for about 24 years now. Yeah, dude, I was one step ahead of you, Alwyn. But thanks for both those compliments. You used to love drawing dragons. You can keep loving drawing dragons. You can still love drawing dragons. Nothing's stopping you from still loving drawing dragons. Okay. A bit higher. Looks about right. Sophie Kana, thanks for the follow. How you doing? We're doing some face studies, head studies. Trying to learn to draw faces better. Purple heart emoji. Well, purple heart to you too. I'm focusing on drawing simpler, more rhythmically, and more dimensional. That's tertiary at this moment. That's kind of like always par for the course. So I guess the main things we're trying to do these days is to try and draw simpler and more rhythmic faces. Because I feel like I'm missing a bit of that in my art. Where do I get my references from? It's typically just Pinterest. It's Pinterest, and then, you know, the hundreds of curated artists that I follow on platforms like Instagram and ArtStation. But that's for the artist studies, right? But for these face studies that we're looking at right now, like these photo studies, sorry, just Pinterest is usually fine for me. It's only thing is it's a lot of like people dramatically staring off into the distance. Um, but that's that's gotta be like my algorithm too. I'm sure if I was targeting expressions a little bit more, I would find them. Okay. Okay. We're getting a little bit lucky with this one. It's kind of working out so far. Some people would invoke skill. I don't dare yet. Let's see how it turns out. Invoke the concept of skill. What's this shape? Big lashes, I get that. So they're overlapping the white of the eye. Because lashes so big. And the curving back up, I think, is what I'm seeing. Maybe just hint at the cheekbone rather than fully outline it. That tends to be a better strategy for some more like subtle appealing shapes. Even if you know where all the anatomical lines go, that doesn't mean you have to put them in there. I think that's okay. Maybe it's a little, no, it's a little high. Pro tip, hairline usually breaks in this like stair stepping shape. Where like, you know, you have the like the sideburns area here, then it goes out, up, and then you have like a smooth curve to the other side where the same thing happens. This out step here could just go ahead and roughly match the angle of the downward turn at the corner of the eyebrow. That tends to look pretty good, pretty believable. Just go ahead and do that. I assure you that part of your drawing will turn out fine. Oh, please save my file. Please. Please actually save my file. That could be nice. I have this writing to file message up on my screen right now. The loading bar is not moving. I would be ecstatic if I were allowed to save my file. Okay. Ecstaticness ensues. Imagine me being ecstatic. Because it did happen. Yeah, we could go lighter on the brows, but what's the fun in that? And this upwards curve in the nose. This right here at the front of the face where the nose meets the cheek, my friends, is a tangent. It is a little bit annoying, perchance, but it is less significant than a large compositional tangent. I spend a lot of my life, admittedly, looking for itty bitty tangents in like drawings rather than images, in like drawings of a face rather than compositions. Truth of the matter is just that sure, they matter a little bit, and we could try to like push the nose out just a little bit so it doesn't actually like, this corner doesn't actually contact that line right at the apex, but there's a tiny bit of overlap. But the truth is we're trying to construct a believable face. What's more important than micro compositional tangents is whether or not the face is like well and believably constructed. So I've stopped bending over backwards to avoid micro tangents in, say, the construction of a face. And then you can just take that same energy and you can put it into discovering, avoiding, and fixing macro tangents in your overall composition that are way more important. Okay. And then just like some hair in here. Nope. Okay, gotta close that real quick. There we go. Nice. Lost a little bit of the expression here. She's like a little bit more relaxed in her upper lid. The model. A little bit more laissez-faire, blasé. What do you say? How you say? Blasé. This is a deep cut. I haven't seen the show for a long time, but I used to watch RuPaul's Drag Race a lot, and got caught up on the earlier seasons at one point. And I don't think this is an earlier season. This is maybe like season 7, season 6. When is Pearl on? Damn, he doesn't have his facts straight. Anyway, she's trying to say blasé. She's trying to say laissez-faire at some point, like about a look or a personality that she's trying to portray. Maybe it's during Snatch Game. And I just remember her saying, Flazzy da? Flazzy da. As like a... as opposed to mean laissez-faire. As opposed to mean like down to earth, relaxed. That was so funny. Probably should have been there though. Okay. Here's a smile. Smiles are tricky. Let's get them. Yeah, something big I'm learning these days is, for me, with these heads, these faces, it makes a lot more sense to be a little bit looser in terms of measurements, a little bit more picky with what measuring lines do I put down. So, like the first one I did like yesterday or the day before yesterday, I started it like this, just putting down all of the angles and making sure that every eye, mouth, lip, nose was really like, this is even a little bit wrong, was really like matching the angles correct in perspective. And it was a really static, really bad drawing. So what I'm finding is giving me way better results. It's giving me way better results right now at this particular point in my art journey is being really picky with what guiding marks do I put in. Okay, now I'm putting in the brow ridge, and that's because I think that having that brow ridge in there in this specific face, this specific case, will really help me contextualize where to put the rest of the face. So in this specific case, I decide, okay, that's a mark that I actually really want to put down. A measuring mark that I really want to put down. And then, oh, like the just the center line, but not a full center line, because this is bogus anyway. This is like floating, and the like this center line is not representing an actual line on the form of her face, because that line would go like this. So this center line coming all the way down like this is just like it's a little bit of a lie. So instead we just put in the cross. We put in the center of the face at the glabella, the keystone. Trying to catch the essence of my reference, not the image. That's one thing. And that comes as soon as you start to stylize your reference. What I'm talking about is more like picking what guidelines I put in when drawing this face. Because if I put in too many, it gets stiff. But if I put in the right amount of guidelines, if I put in the right amount of helping rhythms, instead of like all of the guidelines I could possibly imagine, I still get all the information I need to place all the features correctly, but I do it in a way that also doesn't distract me from the feeling of the image. Yeah, I do it in a way that doesn't have me just focusing on angles and perspective. Now you get what I mean. Sick. Because when you just focus on angles, construction, and perspective, your drawings tend to get stiff. And so picking and choosing the guidelines I'm putting in, it seems like it's been a big difference maker for when I do like a successful drawing of a face, or more successful drawing of a face, and when I do a less successful one. Like it makes sense for me to put in this rhythm right now, because I'm seeing that in her specific muscle region. But I'm not gonna do the full fucking perspective construction like this and then afterwards erase and then draw over it, because while that might give me something solid, it very likely will also give me something stiff. Now I think this strategy only works because I have a lot of experience drawing like Loomis heads and boxes and constructions. So if you haven't practiced that a terrible amount, I still would recommend doing that. But maybe it's not needed for every lay-in of every face. Always nice to draw smiling people, because I've noticed that I can't help but like take on the emotion of whatever I'm drawing a little bit. So then you get to sit, smile to yourself, smile a little bit inwardly. How long do I usually draw? 3 hours here in the evening. So for me it's 10 minutes past 10 right now. And I usually draw till about 11 in the evenings. And then in the morning, I draw from 8 till 10. Oh, same time zone. Sick. Yeah, so 3 hours in the evening, from 8 till 10 in the mornings. And that's all the streaming I do. Didn't mean to leave that mark in there. Now we have to manually erase it out. There we go. No trouble. What do I work that I can draw so long in the morning? So it's freelance from home. I am currently doing an internship at an art illustration outsourcing company. And as long as I hand in my assignments They're happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. Sounds really cool. It is. I mean, if you ask me, it's really cool. It's it's the kind of stuff I want to do for a job afterwards. So I hope they'll be willing to work with me when the internship's up. This is going okay. Her smile feels more earnest. And let's try and think, why is that? And one thing is maybe because I'm raising the inner corner. Like if you raise the inner corner in a smile, it starts to look like condescension really quickly. Like, yeah. I bet you think that. Yeah. So just keeping the inner corner a little bit lower relative to the outer corner of that eyebrow might help us get more of what feels like a genuine smile and not a condescending one. Having fun drawing faces with like a fully opaque, tighter line art brush today. It's one of my mains. I've been doing like a more pencil-y brush recently. This is nice. What brush you use for digital really changes the feeling of the medium for me. So it can be quite fun to experiment a little bit. I don't need that mark. I know that it goes there. I know that I'm delineating the temple. And that is where I would put that mark. I don't need it to draw the face appealingly. So we won't use it. And then look. How that step in of the hairline, it just kind of works if you just match the angle or just overshoot the angle of that corner of the brow a little bit. It just kind of works. I find that emphasizing the outer corner, the overlap of the outer corner of the lower lid can often emphasize earnestness in smiles. Just because, you know, cheek pushes up, like corner of mouth pushes up cheek, that would be pushing mostly from the outside in towards the eye. And then maybe the brows are a little bit high. Yep. That also made a difference. Damn, I'm not super happy with the expression, but I would kind of like to move on. Oh, give me a second, give me a second. It's not closed everywhere. Still not closed everywhere. There we go. Nice. Oh wait, okay, hold on. Face curves. The face curves. Meaning the eyes would curve around the face. Just a little bit, maybe not that much, but some. All right. All right. Moving on. What's this? This is numbers 13 and 14. Inactivity detected in my live. I'm so sorry about that noise. I am supposed to have system sounds turned off. My bad. It's just as annoying to me as it is to you. Okay, so this would be numbers 13 and 14. Number 14 took a while. It's a bit of a fight. Well, let's do another smile. And let's have another fight. Wait, do I not have space anywhere? Mostly out of space. Maybe we can make some. For the last one or two faces of the day. Sorry. Yeah, which would be the smiley woman and where you at? One of these two faces. And then we'll have filled out a nice sheet. Angle to this one. Otherwise very frontal. I need to already put in this rhythm that the hair is coming together in the top, where I know that it's gonna throw me off. Smile looks off somehow. So it's definitely heavily touched up, this photo. It's even so heavily touched up that for a second I was like, is this AI? And maybe that's part of what's making it feel a little bit uncanny to you. I don't know. You're pretty sure it is AI, huh? I wonder. Nah, it probably is. This bit looks very AI, right? You'd expect to see like an actual earring here of some sort, but there's just like a little highlight and it's the same on the other side. You know what? Fuck this image. We're not gonna do this. Then it's between... Well, then we just do both of these. I'm not even that sure, but I'm just not gonna... I don't want to sit and draw something and be like, oh, but is it though? Nah, can't be. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. It can't be AI. But is it though? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit here for that. Okay, so this one, asymmetry, is going to be a very important tool, and I think we can even exaggerate it a little bit more than it is in the image. As long as we make sure to keep the overall structure in the face. I have turned the face a little bit more than it is in the reference. Let's try to see if we can fix that. I have tilted it a little bit more than it is in the reference. It's a bit better on both counts. You did 2 years as a dental technician. Those teeth are definitely fake. Okay. And then this one, you're saying she looks like something out of the new Wendy's series. Wednesday, Wendy's. I mean, is Wednesday a goth version of the Wendy's mascot? Am I the first one ever to point that out? I think so. That must be the case. Nobody's ever had that thought before. This is original thought. Never done by anybody else. Okay. And then I think we could open this eye a little bit more in like a gesture, in like a raised eyebrow sort of Do a little bit more of that. Though not that far away. And only if we match the perspective really closely. Whoops, didn't mean to do that last one. I believe it. I believe it. I buy it. All right, this one we're gonna be trying like a first pass, second pass sort of model. When the time comes, we're gonna be dropping these lines back and then drawing over top of them on a separate layer. Just felt right in this case. I guess I was inventing a little bit more, exaggerating a little bit more, and so I didn't fully know exactly where to put every single line. But now we kind of will. Okay. Oops. Put it on another layer. Drop it back. Come in, do another pass. We've used this cheap trick before on these portraits here. Once in a while when you want some sharper and very often more interesting shapes as well, go in there with a lasso tool for a little bit. You might get both. Hey, good morning, mate. What's up, Dharma? It is evening for me. But good morning to you. We're thinking, oh, it's evening for him, but still said good morning for some reason. No worries, no worries. Well, huge worries. You're gonna be put in a streamer interaction jail. We're gonna be taking this to Twitch viewer court. I hear the prosecution is ferocious. Put you in time jail. Put you in time zone prison. I'm using this. It is a Wacom Intuos Pro. You'll notice, like you'd already guessed, no screen. So you get to look straight at your monitor, which I like a lot. Easier to keep your posture decent. And in my experience, you get used to it relatively quickly, and I never noticed again. Though some artists, many artists, swear that it's more efficient to just work on a screen tablet. That has just simply not been my experience. You get used to the display, to the pen tablet. It's kind of the same thing. But your mileage may vary. Is that any good? Feels decent. When I sampled the color on your images and added brush layers, you started doing that? Very useful. Cool. Cool. I'm a little I'm a little unsure exactly what you're referring to, but super happy I can be of some assistance. I just like overpainted it a little bit. Is that what happened? One of your posts is, yeah, I started drawing on it to change the focus of it. Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's really good. Dramatic overpaints like that is how we illustrators plan out large image changes if we want large image changes. Right? Say I've painted this face right now and I'm like, oh, I have so much attention on her face. I don't want to look at the face. I want to look at the hair. Then we go in here and be like, oh, well, I guess maybe if I like cast everything in shadow except for the hair, then all of a sudden I'm looking at the hair, and then I can be like, oh, but I want to look more at the face, and then I can go like, oh, well, maybe we just have a little bit of light hitting some key parts of the face or whatever, and then that's how we would make big like focal point changes. And then after doing this, after being like, okay, yeah, this is the new plan, then you could go back to your original image and do the changes cleanly. But it's good to do like rough overpaint passes if you want to figure out how you want to change an image. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That's also useful to you. Part of like the designs you're doing is like their illustrative qualities. That's part of their appeal. Don't want to spend too much time on the hair here. It's not really my focus today. Put in some shapes that are kind of like fine. You've thought about adding little drawn layers, but haven't explored that yet. Like in the final, you could definitely do that. You might find that it draws upon a different skill set than what you're used to using. Specifically, you might find that it draws way more upon drawing and painting skills. Like the little global changes, like what I did the other day, still might require some painting knowledge, but most of that you'd be able to do with very little training. But if you want to start to implement like little, or start to implement actual drawing and painting in your finish, that might require a little bit more research, practice. Like doodles on them with people. Oh, for sure. Yeah. If it's little like sketchy things, then that shouldn't be too hard either. Cool. That I think is about enough for the hair. Cool to incorporate another visual language like drawing and get some aesthetic contrast. For sure, for sure. I'm thinking out loud. Yeah. Don't worry about it. That's most of my stream. Of course, it's my stream. I can do whatever I want. certainly hoping thinking out loud has the potential to be very entertaining, because I'm kind of locked in now. Better thinking in loud. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, shit. You must have heard that. Thinking in loud. Implosion. Implosion of thought. My thoughts are way too loud. Damn, okay, I'll quiet them down. That's crazy. Be me, be an empath. Sit too close next to the quiet white kid in school. Damn, bro, your thoughts are way too loud. Sit too close to the scrawny mathlete. I don't know, who has really loud thoughts? The depressed kid in school? I guess that's the punch up. My neighbors can probably hear them. And the police, oh yeah, don't even tell me about the police hearing my thoughts. Don't get me started on the police hearing my thoughts. Okay. Is this nice? Is this good? I like a lot of elements of it. Okay, and then we get rid of that one. And then we just have these lines, and then we just like strategically boost some of them a little bit. All right, 3 minutes left. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get to that last face that I wanted. So we can just sit here and refine this one for a little bit, I guess. Yeah. I think we did what we wanted to with that face. Cool. This is number 15 in this round of faces. I think. Should be. There we go. This is work from these past, I think these past 3 streams. We only did 5 this stream. Damn. Slow evening. That's cool. I think I made some valuable observations. We're gonna be calling it here. Thanks everybody for stopping by, for checking in. Had a nice time streaming. See you guys in